Hey, welcome back to All Things ETH. My name is Aaron, and thanks for joining me live, guys. I'm going to post this link real quick to a couple places, so give me a second to post these. We're going to talk about all the goings-on of GND and GMD. I'm a Discord mod over there. If you're not aware, if you're joining me from my channel, you might not know that. If you're joining me from Twitter, you might not know that. If you're joining me from GND and GMD, I'm sure you're familiar with my avatar, as I've been as active as I can be over the last 4 or 5 weeks since we started, almost a month now. So let me jump on to. Let me stop talking so I can actually do this correctly. Alright, so where are we at? Lives. It's not showing up in my stream yet. Give me 1 second. See if it'll show up. I'm gonna have to jump on over here real quick on my YouTube channel, on my desktop. All right, here we go. My YouTube channel, on my desktop. All right, I share this link, and then I'll switch to my screen as soon as it's done. I'm gonna throw this into Discord real quick. Might as well switch over to my screen while we're here. Pull up Discord. That's right, I logged out. Thanks for joining me live, guys. I'm just getting started here. If you're joining me, I'm putting the YouTube link into Discord and into Twitter before we get started. Join me live. All right. There's one channel. Join me live in GND and GMD Discords, and then go to Twitter real quick here. Do the same so we can get started. Make sure that went. So how's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. If you're over on the other side of the world, it might be Saturday by now. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me live here. I'm going to just check, make sure this is up on. It is up, looks like. Awesome. Well, I wanted to get into a couple different things. Excuse my beard. I just got out of the shower, played basketball over the lunch break with some guys, and then went to the gym, and then took a shower, and now my beard's all kind of crazy. Anyway, so we've been, GND protocol has been open for business for just a month now. It is exactly a month since we got started, and things have been incredible. Let's just go over the quick stats here. $42 million in total value locked. That's up $1 million since I posted earlier this morning. This morning I posted, and I think we were at like 41. That's insane that we've popped $1 million in the last less than 24 hours. So if you haven't caught my video on YouTube yet, go over, check out. I mean, you're watching my channel right now, so go over and check out more videos. I've got an investment video, how to get started with staking, turning GND into XGND and staking it for real yield, 60% protocol real yield right now, let's make sure that's correct, 59.28 current base APR. And if you get these reward points that stack up over time, I'm getting 61%. Since last I claimed, which was just yesterday, I've made another $27 in Ethereum. I am an investor with this. Yes, I do get paid some to in XGND to be the mod for both GMD and GND. All of that is paid in XGND. So because I came on around the time of the launch. So full transparency there, guys. I do get paid, but I have also invested my own funds into XGND and GND. I have a little bit of liquid GND, not a lot, so I won't be dumping on anybody. Turn most of it into XGND so I can get protocol revenue. And that is my passive income, well, sort of passive, obviously working, but do get more XGND for working, so happy to be doing so. It's an honor to be a part of the program, part of the team. Saul Goodman, Betsy Kettleman, Crimson, all amazing teammates, or core team, I should say. My teammates are actually ACV over as the community manager, and capital E, shout out to you for all your technical know-how, man. You've been crushing it. And if you've ever had a technical question, a Discord ticket, support ticket, E is often the one that takes care of you there. I do my best, ACV does his best, but E is the one that does a lot of the technical side of the Discord channel stuff. Of course, Saul Goodman, the key dev, jumps in and helps out as well. So let's get back to stats real quick. $42 million, 42.4 million total value locked in just a month. 35 million of that is liquidity. I do have some liquidity in the pools. We'll go over that as well in this live today. Total revenue of $646,000. That is, if you break that down, guys, that's pretty crazy. So let's go 646, 100,000, right? And let's divide that by 5. Let's just say it's been exactly 5 weeks, just to make it even. That's $129,000 per week. And I'm going to go into stats a little bit, and we're going to talk about what that means for revenue against some of the top protocols in Arbitrum. We're catching up. In just a month time, we're catching up to the top 4, which are currently Gains Network, Camelot, and there's obviously GMX and Radiant. So GMX being the top dog in Arbitrum as far as fees and TVL and all that, guys. So TVL, we've still got a ways to go in order to catch them, but total revenue has been insane. Revenue for GND comes from the fees on the backs of the farm, right? The liquidity that gets into Uniswap v3. We are built on Uniswap v3, and that means we're not in 50-50 pools. It's variable pools, so do know that, understand that. Watch some of my videos on variable pools that I've talked about. Might need to do a new one on that specifically for GND at some point, so I'll post that maybe next week. But another revenue engine for us is a couple different things. We have the SOL mechanism, which is arbing the GMUSD price. GMUSD is backed by GDAI, which is the Gains Network LP, and it's also backed by the GMUSD pool, or GMUSDC pool, I should say, over at GMD Protocol. We are GMD and GND are sister protocols. I call them sister protocols because they have the same team. We should call them the ecosystem. In fact, a lot of people in TC or crypto Twitter rather are calling them this an ecosystem, right? And so we've got GMD, we've got GND, and we've got the GMD Launchpad Launchpads have been extremely successful so far. The GND protocol launched on the GMD launchpad. There was the GAST protocol. GAST crushed it, selling out within minutes, both in their pre-sale, their private pre-sale, and as well as, or whitelist pre-sale, I should say, as well as the launchpad on GMD. Sold out within minutes, guys. Honestly, I think there was just too few available. A lot of people are asking how we have changed that, that effect of, people buying up the supply very, very quickly in the GMD Discord in particular. I'm here to tell you guys, the name of the game for us is helping people launch, and they decide how many tokens get allocated to the GMD Launchpad and at what price they're set. And so supply and demand, right? If the supply is little and the demand is great, they're gonna go fast, especially if priced accordingly. I do think let's go look at the gas price. Let's look at this real quick. I think I've got it over here. This is the GND price, or the GND chart. That's the GMD chart, and I think I've got the gas chart here. So I mentioned this in the video that I posted earlier today, but the whitelist presale was actually at $10. The GMD Launchpad was at like $12.50, I think, was what you got at the GMD Launchpad if you were able to get in, and the price just skyrocketed from here. So if you got in at $10, you're at 6x already. If you got in at $12, you're at a 5x and then some. And so if you DCA down here in the first couple days after launch, you're doing really well. You're almost at a 2x. In fact, you did 2x if you stayed in. So I think, honestly, the Launchpad was more than a success. I think Gast was extremely happy with the effects. And, of course, GMD and GND were extremely successful as well, because GND gets some protocol liquidity. The pull from Gast over in the Uniswap v3. I'm going to turn my screen down so you can't hear my my Discord beeping at me. Let's jump in. I'm just going to jump into Discord real quick just to make sure I'm not shirking any duties, as I am one of the mods over here. I'm going to see. Here we go. If you have any questions, thanks, E. I would love to answer any questions. Please join me in the video. Cool. So let's get into the charts for a couple of these. So gas again has skyrocketed. I think slightly underpriced for the demand, and that's why things went so quickly at the Launchpad. GND made a killing on trading fees in the because of the Launchpad, guys. So that's why we've seen a lot of our revenue over the last week in particular. We do have another Launchpad on GMD. Let me go to the GMD site and show you that Launchpad page if you're not familiar. This was the gas. Again, this sold 30,000. Wow. Where was it? I think there was a supply of 20,000 and at $12 a piece. Soft cap of, I don't see the allocation on here. It's probably because they went so fast, or because they're gone. But I believe 20,000 were available, sold out super fast, and raised $300,000 for Gas Protocol, and was amazing. The next one that's coming out is Ether Wars. Ether Wars is a new game, play to earn, if you will, on Arbitrum. It's backed by Digits DAO, and that's why we're super stoked to be partnering with Ether Wars, because anything Digits does, we're a fan of, and we'd like to partner more with Digits. So we're going to be launching on the Launchpad. We have the priority sale, is what we're calling it, on GMD. And that's going to be on the 3rd. So there was some confusion. I believe some people have had thought that we are going to do the Launchpad tomorrow, Saturday. I believe it's 4 p.m. UTC, and it will be 4 p.m. UTC on the 3rd. That's Saturday the 3rd. So get your funds ready. If you want to be a part of that, get your GMD staked. Transfer some GMD into ES-GMD and stake that. That'll get you even higher allocation. You're able to buy $10 worth of ETH wars or war at the launchpad. If you have GMD staked, you're able to buy $50 worth for each ES-GMD staked, and then you're also able to buy $40 worth for every XGND staked at the time of launch. So there isn't a snapshot taken; it's at the time of launch, guys. So if you're staked at 4 p.m. UTC on Saturday the 3rd, you will have those specific allocations allotted to your wallet, and you will see it here, USD in wallet, and then your contributed amount, and then your max allocation. That's what it is. Your max allocation will be shown in the dashboard here, and you're going to be able to spend up to that much if you're able to, and it's first come first serve. And guys, it has been going so fast. If you're savvy at all, I would recommend even using the contract, and you can ask us up to a couple hours before the sale for the contract if we're able to give it to you, and that will help you get in. But if you're not savvy, and I'm hoping there's a little bit more time to get allocated. I actually missed out completely on both the whitelist sale. I was whitelisted for Gast, and I was obviously I had this allocation here, this max allocation of $1,500, and both of them I completely missed because they went so fast. So amazing success for the Launchpad. The Launchpad does get an allocation themselves from the protocols that we launch, and those tokens are actually going to be airdropped at some point in the future to ES-GMD stakers, I believe. I don't think it's just holders. I think you do have to be staking, and they may be allocated as well to other stakers within the program, but we haven't decided that for sure. So follow the exact announcements. Join us in the Discord at GMD specifically for this allocation, as in the future we will be airdropping both Arbitrum tokens, because we got a massive injection of Arbitrum tokens from the Arbitrum Foundation. Shout out to the Arbitrum Foundation for that allocation. What we did with that allocation, there was 383,000, I believe, are given to GMD protocol because we've been on the platform on the Arbitrum chain for long enough to get that allocation. And 83,000-ish is going to be airdropped over a certain period of time to GMD stakers, or maybe only ES-GMD stakers. Go ahead and jump in the Discord at GMD to get that specific information. We haven't set a time yet, guys, so and you do have to be staking, not vesting, in order to be part of that allocation as well. Let's go into how that works. I want to look at the vest and lock page. So in order to get some ES-GMD, you do have to you have to lock rather. This is the same mechanism that's in GND as well. So you can vest and lock in both protocols. Locking will change your liquid GMD or liquid GND into the locked version, or ES-GMD in the case of GMD, and XGND in the case of GND, and that will make your token stakeable at the prices that are, you'll have to look in the stake tab. It's a little bit different per protocol. You can actually stake liquid GMD and make a current base APR of 6.94%, and then the base APR on ES-GMD is currently 11.68%. Both guys are paid out in Ethereum. So you do get that. There is a deposit fee on both GND and GMD. The deposit fee is a little bit lower when you stake on GMD than it is on GND. I believe quite a bit different. In fact, there's a 0.1% deposit fee in GMD, and over at GND, it's quite a bit difference, 2%. Massive difference, guys. So pay attention to these things. Staking, obviously, you get massive APRs over at GND in relation. So I think it was what at GMD you get the 6.94%. Well, it's about 10x, just under 10x over at GND for GND stakers. Your base APR is again almost 60%. Paid in Ethereum, and you can take that out anytime you want. So those are the allocations for the next launchpad. I mentioned the time of the launchpad, 4 p.m. UTC, Saturday, the 3rd of June. All right, moving on. Let's look at the charts real quick for these protocols. GND has been a rocket ship. At least it was at the beginning, and it's still on a really nice climb. I'm gonna have to go out to the. Let's go to. Yeah, the 4-hour chart's gonna help us out. So there was a pre-sale, a private pre-sale at $50, and then there was the priority sale on the GMD Launchpad at $70, which doesn't even show up on the on Dex Screener. Dex Screener only shows the price from when a liquidity is added to that specific pair. This is the GND to WETH pair, or wrapped ETH rather, and so this has been fantastic. I got in at $70, guys, as part of the GMD Launchpad, and did get a small allocation. Actually tried to get a larger allocation, and it is first come first serve, and you can only purchase once. So you don't purchase a little bit expecting to maybe buy a little bit more later. One purchase only. You don't get to rebuy. Even if you have higher allocated available, you only get one chance to purchase. That's how that works. It is how it's coded, guys. So it is what it is. So don't put a little bit in and then see how the sale goes. Buy it all at once. I know, like with the grain sale at Granary, you could buy it any time. You could buy more and more and more. That was LGE, is a little bit different than a Launchpad. But with GMD Launchpad, you do have to buy only once, and that's all you get. So yes, the price has gone from $50 all the way to over $500. In fact, we almost hit $600 just about a week ago, and it's been a fantastic. The chart at GMD has been insane the last couple of weeks as well. We were sitting at between 80 and 90 for quite a long time. I mean, look at this chart. between what, March, so almost a year, guys, we sat at about $80, just, you know, like a rough estimate, middle of the road, $80, right? And then all of a sudden, with these launch pads, we have had this just parabolic move, and then a little bit of whale action, I think, here. I'm not really sure what went on. There was some people that were a little bit, you know, just asking questions in the GMD Discord today about what the price has done. But really, guys, taking profit. Take some profit. Like from $80 up to you know, $160. That's a you know, double up. Take some profit. Take a chill and enjoy the ride. I personally have my GMD allocated to the farms in GND, and 203% APR right now. I'm sure this will probably get a lot of fees this week in particular, as we've seen the price skyrocket on GMD. Where are we at? That's the guest. This is GMD, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this bounces again. I'm not going to say much about price because I am a mod. I don't want to influence anybody. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, guys. But with these launch pads, I do think we're going to see some revenue for both protocols, and the protocols that get launched as well. We'll get some nice PR from both GMD and GND, as well as myself, and in the Discord. So there is in the Discord, if you're a protocol looking to get launched, You can fill out a form. There's a partnership. Actually, I think it's a, let's go to GMD protocol in Discord. And I want to show you that. So I don't want to show you too much because I do have ticket app deals here. So I don't want to show too much behind the scenes. We have there's a proposal discussion, community, let's see, scam reports, thread competition. I believe it's going to be on the other side of the tickets. So yeah, support ticket, partnership ticket, and launchpad ticket. So fill out a launchpad ticket if you would like to be part of the, if you're a protocol building on Arbitrum and want to be part of the launchpad. So go ahead and check that out. The team will look over your application and we'll be in contact with you if we feel like you're a good fit. So we do want to launch with people that, with protocols that do give some value to the stakers in GMD as well as GND. We have historically on GMD and GND wanted to partner with those who will give us value. Why did we do GAST? Well, GAST is going to have a money market that features the GMD protocol launch tokens. So that's the GMD USDC, the GMD ETH. Let me look at just go to the vaults here. I don't think we're going to do a buffer one in particular, but who knows, that could be an interesting, a buffer vault, a buffer vault receipt token could be something we could borrow against. But for right now, we've got the GMD USD, GMD ETH, GMD BTC, and GMD USDT. The receipt tokens that you get, the liquid wrappers essentially on your allocations to these vaults will be available to borrow against in Gas Protocol, just like you can currently in TenderFi. So I actually have a couple of my GMD ETH being lent to TenderFi. Now this APR, guys, this is the APR that you get from GMD. It's not on top of. So don't be confused, don't be fooled. This is just the base APR from your supply APY to GMD protocol. You're not getting any extra tokens in TenderFi right now. I will be happy to see. I'll be moving this probably over to GAST when it's available. It should be available soon. GAST protocol only has staking available currently on their application. But soon they will have the money market going, and I will be moving my GMD ETH over to GAST in order to support the team over there. I think they're a great team. In fact, Crimson on both GMD and GND, the team member, core team member, is a personal friend of the primary dev at GAST, and because there's some protocol, we're going to share these assets with each other. I mean, GMD assets will be lent to the markets at GAST in order to be used as equity to borrow other assets. And GAST in particular is a no liquidation market, so you will have to borrow the assets that are directly correlated to the assets that you lend. So if you're lending GMD ETH, you can borrow ETH. Doesn't mean you have to keep it in ETH. You can move it off and swap it, and you could even lend it to another lending program and borrow some USDC on top of that. Maybe yield farm with that. Personally, I'll be yield farming, probably looping, honestly. The GMD ETH I'll lend, I'll get some ETH, and then I'll probably stake that ETH back into the vaults over at GMD, or I'll put it somewhere else and loop some ETH rewards somehow. Maybe even buy some wrap staked ETH or something like that, and just enjoy the ETH rewards. Because my channel is called All Things ETH, man, I'm staking ETH anywhere I can. I'm earning ETH anywhere I can. In fact, that's my primary yield farming strategy for my entire portfolio. So what else should I talk about? I think I'm going to look at I want to go over my portfolio. Why not, right? Like, show people behind the scenes what's going on. I'm not going to show you the totals, although you might be able to figure out the math. What am I into? I've got some Flash tokens. If you're not familiar with Flash Stake, they're a great protocol on Arbitrum, giving you upfront yield on GLP, on staked ETH, on mainnet, RETH on mainnet. They just launched RETH. Shout out to the team. Zach Dash, congratulations on your new baby. Proud of you, man. As a father myself, gotta give it up to the dads out there that are also in crypto. Moving on, got some ETH, obviously, got some Lotus. Lotus is an interesting one. You should check it out. Look at the docs. Lotus is something that we do have available in GND as a liquidity provider as well. Do look out and read the docs on this one, guys. There's a tax on the sale of Lotus. I believe it's up to like 10%, something crazy like that. So do be careful with that one. I'm buying and holding a little bit of Lotus just for the heck of it. It's more of a experiment to me than anything else. Got some Ribbon tokens. Got my Ribbon hat on. I started my YouTube channel with a lot of Ribbon related content on mainnet. Ribbon is a options platform. They just launched their AVO sidechain, which is on top of Ethereum, but it does not cost any gas per transaction. So you just transfer USDC onto the AVO layer 2. It's a purpose-built, application-built layer 2 on top of Ribbon and Ethereum. That's you just have your transfer fee into and out of with your USDC, but you can trade assets within, in options. And then they also built a perpetuals DEX on top of AVO as well. And it's an order book, guys, unlike other than an AMM or automatic market maker DEX. So you're getting some pretty great price movement, and you're not paying Ethereum gas fees while you're in the protocol, the AVO specific sidechain there on Ribbon. So do check that out. I do have a pass. If anybody's watching this and wants to send their Ethereum address to me, please do. You can DM me on Twitter. That's probably the best place to do that. Or you can message me in Discord, although I don't like direct messages in Discord. I did have an unfortunate incident where somebody totally hacked my if you were on Discord the last couple of days, 2 days ago, somebody hacked my personal Discord name. They didn't like use my name and put some digits behind it. They actually hacked my it was actually the key, my session key on Discord. I'm not sure how it happened because I have 2FA enabled, and it's pretty embarrassing, but we're back and I'm being super cautious now. I think it honestly, guys, was a dirty what do you call it? A verification bot. So I think I got verified on a Discord I was trying to join, and I think the bot was dirty, and so they took over my session key and were able to completely use my Discord name, and they just wreaked havoc. In fact, they bought Nitro like 4 times on my account and spent like $400. Thankfully, only $200 of that got cashed. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the portfolio a little further. Honestly, guys, I don't carry a lot of other tokens. I don't carry a lot of protocol tokens unless they're going to make me more Ethereum. So I don't do a lot of trading. I like to yield farm. So I've got a big position, or a big for me position, in GND. Like I said, I am invested. I do get paid in XGND for both the modding both channels. But I'm got some GMD and wrapped ETH in the pools, farming that, currently making about 200%. in XGND and GND tokens, and I also have some buffer and wrapped ETH because that's got a pretty good APR right now as well. So let's jump into that. That's at 150% APR. That's dropped over the last couple of days. That I put it in just a couple of days ago. I used to be in the ARB and a wrapped ETH, and that was dropping, so I sold my ARB and got some buffer just to take advantage of the APR, and it's still in a pretty healthy place. I mean, 150% APR is insane, but I don't have a huge allocation there, only 100. Let's see, I think my total, yeah, like 900 bucks, not a ton. Do have a little bit more in this, about $3,000 currently, and the jump in the GMD price has really affected that. I think I only put in a couple thousand, and right now I'm at about 3,000. You will make money. You will see your account values go up. These account values will go up, even though there's impermanent loss there, guys. So let's talk about impermanent loss. We're on a live where if anybody's watching, let's jump into this. So impermanent loss in Uniswap v3 in particular acts differently than v2. v3 is not 50-50. You know, A plus B equals C type mathematics and algebra. It's more like options in my estimation. I come from an options trading background. I was a day trader in the stock market for most of 2020. Actually, as I was, I'm a freelance video and advertising. That's my background. But then I've always been into stocks, always been in investing. Day traded almost all of 2020 and did really well. Got into crypto in 2020, late 2020. Wish I'd gotten in sooner. Wish I'd put more into it sooner, to be honest with you, and blown up. I did pretty well in 2021. The last bull cycle was fantastic, and it really got me interested in crypto. But let's talk about V3 Uniswap. In relation to options, you have these min and max, GMD per or WETH per GMD, right? So the how many wrapped ETH are per GMD and a min and max, and then you have the current price. And as long as this current price is between these min and maxes, you're going to have rewards inside of the protocol is going to be making fees on these trades. Now, even if this current price goes outside of the min and max, even though the protocol is not going to make money on this specific pair, you will still make the APR that's listed. So don't be fooled by that. If the current price is outside of, you will still get APR and rewards in XGMD and GND. However, the current price, if it's outside of it, you're going to have a one-sided liquidity pool. So in fact, I'm single side staking essentially buffer in this pool. The buffer price is currently lower than or right at the minimum price. So if I was going to open this up and show you the liquidity inside of the liquidity pool, let's actually go to liquidity quick and show you this. So I'm going to find the pair, which would be the buffer and ETH pair. So if I put any amount R, it's going to be a pretty huge allocation chain. So let's see, 10. So it's not single-sided exactly right now, but it's pretty close. I mean, if I put in 1,000 buffer, it's only going to charge me it's only going to want to pool against that 0.006 Ethereum. In fact, when I got into this pool, it was single-sided buffer. Even if I put in 10,000 buffer, it was going to be 0 Ethereum because the current price was lower than the minimum. So a lot of people say that impermanent loss is worse with these sorts of pools. I actually disagree. It's more of a paper loss until you finish, pardon me, until you take your money out. So you actually aren't getting an impermanent loss until you realize the gains or you realize the loss, right? So what I like to do is in my heart, in my heart, guys, I know that Buffer is going to go up, right? And it's probably going to go up against Ethereum at some point, even though Ethereum will go up really well. In my opinion, not financial advice. In my opinion, in the next bull run, Ethereum's going to go great. But I do think Buffer has the potential to outperform Ethereum. So I want to sell my Buffer into Ethereum as the price of Buffer goes up against Ethereum. And that is my long-term strategy in this very pool, as long as the APRs stay where they are, right? So I'm going to chase the APRs more than I'm going to chase the gains and the tokens. But if I was going to long stake this and long diamond hand it, it would eventually outperform ETH, in my opinion, and eventually all of it will turn into ETH. So that what you're doing in these pools is the allocation is going to, the scales are going to tip as one asset rises and the other one's rising too, but it doesn't rise quite as quickly. You're going to like tip the scale in the direction of the underperforming asset. So as the price of Buffer goes up against ETH, I'm going to have more ETH in my my pool. So if that makes sense, you can take it one step further and look at it like selling call and put options. I used to love selling put options. I would put in, it was actually in like Ethereum backed stocks. So I was let's put it this way. I was buying Ethereum, OCC, and in an options exchange as a stock. So using the what is it? Anyway, there's a couple stocks related to ETH in particular. It's the ETHE stock, and I was trading options with it, and I would buy a bunch of it. I would put it in or I'd put up a bunch of money in that stock, and I was gonna buy more if the price hit where my entry point was. And so if it hit my entry point, I would actually own it for a while, and then I would put in a covered call up higher, and then it would sell if the price was reached at the sell point, right? At the strike price. So I see it like stock options. I love this paradigm, if you will, of buying and selling crypto like stock options. It makes you money while you're selling them. So that's the biggest thing. You're getting in liquidity pools, in Uniswap v3 in particular, you're gaining fees while you're selling out of your position. As the price of the asset goes up, you're selling into Ethereum or USDC if that's what you're pooling against, right? I think all of the pools in GMD are against let's go back to the farm. I think they're either against Ethereum or USDC. So, or at least a stable coin, something similar to, right? So GMD, USD, and GDAI are actually correlated assets. So you're not going to get a lot of sale, arbitrage in between those. But everything else is ETH versus an asset, USDC versus the asset, ETH again, ETH again, ETH again, right? So USDC, ETH, USDC, DAI to GDAI. I mean, everything's got either a stable or an ETH equivalent inside of the pool, and you're going to be selling into that stable or to the ETH in actuality. So I'm sure that went over some people's heads, but if you've traded options before, it makes a lot of sense, and you gain protocol fees just like you would premium in options while you're selling crypto or pooling crypto inside of GND or inside of Uniswap v3 that we're built on top of. So it was probably pretty complicated, but hopefully I explained it somewhat well. We'll see. All right, let's jump into the chat to see if there's any questions that I haven't. Let's do some Q&A. Let me just open my phone, find where we're at here, and then see if there's... All right, guys. Oh, sweet. We got some questions. Locking on... Okay, so the question is, how long is locking on ESGMD? It is 365 days, and you cannot earn rewards. So both in GND and GMD, when you lock If you decide to vest XGND or ESGMD back into the liquid version, you vest for 365 days in ESGMD, you vest for 200 days or 20 days in GND. If you lock for 200 days, you get the 1-to-1 ratio back in GND. If you lock for 20 days, you lose half of it and burn half of it. Or rather, you burn half of it and keep half in liquid GND at the end of 20 days. So good question. Let's see, other questions we have. Any thoughts about gas product delaying? I don't see a big issue. I think they're being super careful about their product. I think there's been enough rugs and issues with hacks that they really, especially in the lending space, guys. I mean, Euler had a big exploit earlier this year. There's been some exploits in that field, and I think they're just really trying to be careful. I believe Gast, I'm not sure if Gast will look like it, but Tenderfy looks like a compound fork. So at least Compound has the code behind it to have some like long-standing base where you're not going to because you're built on forking the code from something like Compound, you're just as likely as Compound to get exploited. And so because Compound hasn't been exploited in a long time, neither will Tenderfy. Is the logic, right? It's not, in actuality, that may not be the case, especially if they update the contracts. But I think Gas is just trying to be careful. So to answer your question, there's a question about multi-sig. I don't know what that's referring to. What is the potential seeing for GND? I'm sorry, that question doesn't quite make sense. Let's look more. How do you get XGND? Well, follow the video that I just made a couple of days ago, but I'll go through the process. How do you get XGND? If you buy GND on the market, I recommend using Uniswap v3 to buy your GND or the DeFi Llama swap aggregator, right? Let's just show this real quick. How do you buy GMD in the first place? Let's say I have $10 and I want to buy GND. You type GND into the aggregator, you import the token, and you swap to get liquid GND. Now you can't type in XGND here. There's not a market, peer-to-peer market for XGND. You have to go to the Vest tab. So that should probably say lock and vest like it does. Actually, it's interesting depending on what page you're on. I need to fix this. So we'll work on this in the Discord, but depending on what page you're on, it will say probably lock and vest. It looks like the farm page needs updated to have the same thing, but lock and vest is where you lock your GND into XGND, and that's how you would do that. And then once you have that XGND, you can go to the stake tab and stake your XGND to get protocol fees. Again, it's 59% base APR with RP acquiring as long as you're holding that stake, and then you can claim and recompound or compound that you claim your ETH rewards, and then it compounds the RP into a higher boosted APR. I've been boosting or accruing RP since the beginning, so I am up about 2% over the current base APR based on how many people are staking, how many they're staking, and how much I have currently staked myself. So you can unstake here, and every time you stake a little bit more, it's going to claim those rewards. So you don't have to claim and compound especially if you're in the liquidity pools and getting a little bit of XGND out of those pools. When you stake your new XGND in here, it'll auto claim, so you don't have to claim and compound and then stake. You can just stake off over and over. So Junian, thanks for joining us over in this. Junian's the key dev, the CEO, if you will, of Gas Protocol. Shout out to him. Okay, so what are my thoughts on ETH Wars, or Ether Wars? I think Ether Wars could do well. I don't know enough about it, guys, to give you a super in-depth. I did come into to DeFi actually through Axie Infinity, believe it or not. I started playing Axie Infinity. I was an ETH purchaser, highly invested in Ethereum, but I do love gaming and card games in particular. I was a Magic the Gathering player. I did not get into Pokemon and that sort of thing, but my brother did, who's like 15 years younger than me. So I understood that. And then seeing what Axie Infinity was doing a couple years back, almost 3 years ago, wow. Actually started my YouTube channel all about Axie Infinity. It was ETH related, and then I got into Axie Infinity pretty heavily at the kind of the bull run of that protocol. Well, you know, I think it's the first, if not at least the most prominent card game that's going to be on Arbitrum. I don't know if they're launching on Arbitrum 1 or if they're on the gaming side. What's the other Arbitrum? Nova, right? Arbitrum Nova is the gaming side. I'm not sure what you'll have to check out their docs on what they're going to launch on. Ether Wars, because it's digits, guys, because it's partnered and backed with digits, that's why GMD is partnering, because we want to got to look at it like this. Okay, this is the exact question I'm answering. So why did GMD choose Ether Wars for their launchpad? I believe, and this is from Saul Goodman himself, that we chose to partner with DigidsDAO, and because Digits is behind Ether Wars, we wanted to make that partnership, because you got to look at it like this. If the launch pads are super competitive, right? The other biggest launch pad, and I need to get into this. I started with it at the beginning of this video, and before I end, I will. The launch pad landscape is very competitive. We are trying to. Our biggest competitor, if you're not aware, is Camelot, right? And they probably have the second largest, or maybe the largest launchpad on Arbitrum. They make a lot of fees because of that. Anytime there's a launchpad, guys, there's going to be cross promotion. There's going to be fees generated. The protocol owns liquidity from ETH Wars and from Gast. All are going to be traded on GND. And they're going to be making GND and GMD because of the cross-pollination that goes on there. There's going to be fees given back to stakers of the tokens, and it may not be direct with Ether Wars. It's kind of getting our foot in the door, honestly, with Digits and their influence. You know, you got to look at it like a business. If we're partnering with somebody like Digits who's backing ETH Wars, we want to start a relationship with them. So they could have taken ETH Wars to Camelot. They could Digits could back some even greater, more something that's going to partner better with GMD or GND in the future, and we want to be the launchpad platform for the best protocols in Arbitrum, and so if it takes doing a GameFi launchpad now in order to do some more high profile things. I mean, gosh, ETH Wars could blow up, guys. There's been a lot of questions of the team about this one, and I want to just put it to rest, guys. We want to partner with Digits. We want to partner with the best, and we want to give people a chance to. ESGMD stakers will get airdropped some tokens from the different launchpads that we have in future, because we get some of the launchpad tokens as the launchpad provider. We will be airdropping those at some point to the ESGMD stakers, guys. So that's why I want to continue to reiterate we're partnering with Digits on this one, and because Digits is backing ETH Wars, we want to support them and be their launchpad partner. right, I don't see any other questions in this chat, so let's get into the last thing I want to cover, guys, is the fees that we're generating, and DeFi Llama tracks that the best, right? So GND in particular, I'm refreshing this. Let's see if it's going to refresh. So this is under DeFi Llama. If you choose DeFi and then chains and then Arbitrum, I'm just going to do this and show you how this works. In case you're not aware, you probably already are. I'm probably showing, preaching to the choir, if you will. Chains, and then you go down to Arbitrum. Sweet. Thank you for supporting. Just talking to the chat here. Thanks for supporting the decision. Arbitrum as the chain, and then we want to look at fees here. So we will choose. Where is that? All right, up here, revenue. So Saul Goodman posted this on his Twitter about a week ago, and this is Arbitrum revenue, right? And then I'm going to choose to sort this by 7-day revenue. Gosh, we actually got picked off by Trader Joe. Just the last 24 hours, Trader Joe must have done some serious revenue, but we were in 5th place behind Gains Network as of this morning, and that's saying something, guys. Trader Joe, obviously, and Camelot being our biggest competitors, as we're not a DEX. GND is not a DEX, but we do get the fees from Uniswap v3. Funny thing is, Uniswap v3 doesn't show up here. They don't have revenue listed, so they would probably be higher than us, although I do know that we, as GND protocol, make up like 10% of their fees. So we're helping them crush it, right? So we partner with the best and most fee generating protocols in our liquidity farms, and that's why at $94,000 of revenue in the last 7 days, that's not fees, that's revenue. Or I guess that's the same thing. I'm sorry, that's not profit, that's revenue. But killer revenue, $94,000 in the last 7 days. Just look at how close we are, though. We were above Trader Joe as of this morning. Gains Network, and this could update. Like, Saul could pull the contract and bump this up right now, and maybe I should refresh and just see. I doubt Saul's watching. He's got way more to do than to watch my lives, but happy to be representing. Thank you so much for the honor of representing GND and GMD, Saul. So Trader Joe, Gains, Camelot, Radiant, and GMX are our biggest competitors as far as revenue. Camelot and Trader Joe being the highest revenue. We actually partner pretty closely with Gains Network because of the GMUSD stablecoin. We've partnered with them on GDAI to back that, and they are the majority of the backing for GMUSD. But anyway, guys, we're creeping up there, insanely high on the 7-day protocol revenue. We've only been available for a whole month, GND protocol, and we're crushing it. So the more revenue that we have, the more ETH yields that we will be paying back to ex-GND stakers, guys. And with that, let's finish up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been on for at least an hour now. I think I started this stream at 3, so we're going to finish it up right at 4 o'clock. And enjoy your weekend, everybody. Does anybody have more questions before we go? Feel free to pop them into the live chat. If you don't, after I finish, feel free to put them in the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content about Arbitrum, DeFi in particular. Oh, I was going to... yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit more portfolio next time on the live. I'm going to do lives just about every Friday afternoon, Central Standard Time, and wherever you're at, guys. Thank you so much for watching again, and like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this, and God bless.